Right? So even that is a major one. Because once you made that choice, you're doomed. Now, once you make that choice, you're stuck. Right? That is a commitment, a long-term commitment. Right? Okay, so we got major, right? Another one. You want to buy a car. We buying a car, right? Or even a motorcycle. You go through brands, right? Oh, this brand, and then you study. Okay, these are the good things about this brand, this car, right? And then you look at that. Oh, mukhang maganda ata to. And then you go through that, right? Sometimes even more than one or more than two. You go through that, right? And you cannot make up your mind which one to take. Okay, price. You look at the price, right? Oh, mukhang mura to, pero mas maganda ata yun. It's just like a few thousand pesos, the difference. You go through that, right? So you don't like you go to a dealer and just, oh, I like this car, and you buy the car. Who does that? Well, if you're a billionaire, you can do that because you can always change it if you don't like it, right? But we are not billionaires. We put a lot, we made a lot of, hard work, right? To make those money. So everyone, it's important to us that we get the best bang out of our money, right? That's where the ambivalence is. Okay, what if you make a mistake? Boy, you're stuck with your car for several years, right? All right. The interesting thing, right? I'm gonna tell you a secret about ambivalence. It's actually dissonance, right? Cognitive dissonance. Once you resolve that ambivalence, you're committed to it. Because you know what? It creates a lot of anxiety when you are not decided, correct? Sometimes, you lose sleep over it, you chew on it, and you cannot seem to make a decision, right? So, but once you make a decision, you're committed to it. And same thing, you choose your guy, right? Once you choose your guy, you're convinced this is the right choice, right? You're not gonna tell your friends like, oh my God, the guy I chose sucks. You're not gonna go tell your friends the guy the guy I married sucks. I made a mistake. Huh? Hindi yan television na may warranty, okay? That you can go back to the store and complain this doesn't work. Can I just return it to you? You cannot do that with your guy or your girl. The same thing with the guys. Same thing with the guys. All of us, right? So you're committed. So what happens? Oh, I have a wonderful husband. Not really. No, you don't do that. Why you cannot look at the bad side of the guy once you choose the guy? Because it's gonna create a lot of anxiety in you, right? You avoid looking at that. You just kind of, di bali na, hindi naman malaking bagay yun eh. Pwede na lang pagpasensyahan yan. Okay. It's funny, but we go through that, right? So we're committed, and then we find the good things about that. Same thing, you buy a car, right? You bought a car, you're driving, right? And the stop sign, your friend will happen to be there. And your friend say, hey, Perry, what a wonderful car. I say, how is it working for you? Do you like the car? Are you going to say to your friend, no, I hate this car. You just bought the car. You're not going to tell your friend, this car is terrible. Because it's going to create more anxiety in you. They say, oh, I wasted my money, blah, 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 right? That's the nature of our mind. Once we settle, we don't go back there and stress ourselves out. Okay, all of us do that, right? That's a wonderful thing. And then if we could apply that in counseling, once you help the person go through that dissonance, the ambivalence, and then, help him make a decision, not you making that decision. He has to make the decision. He is committed to that. So hopefully, the idea is to help him make the right choice. That's how we guide him. We guide him to make the right choice, but we don't tell him, this is better for you. That's not MI. That's not MI. He has to make that choice. And hopefully, you can guide a person to make the right choice. Once that person make that choice and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, that person is very likely to be committed. Once that dissonance is, he makes a decision, that dissonance comes down, and then he's committed to that. He cannot go back to the other choice. All right? And that's the nature of our mind. We want like homeostasis, a state of equilibrium, because if it's the imbalance, it creates stress in our mind, in our body, and in our emotions. All right? So that's, I'm telling you, the way this works. Okay? And then we're going to see how, the different techniques is applied using those principles. You got it, guys? It's not really deep. You understood what I'm saying. Now, how do we apply that in our counseling, in our work, in helping our clients, right? Okay, so that's the whole idea of the training. Hopefully, we develop those skills. Helping people talk themselves into changing. All we do is really talk. The use of language in achieving, our goal, and helping our clients achieve their goals. Just talk. Okay? This is dedicated to all who are weary of trying to educate, advise, entice, convince, coax, cajole, persuade, sweet talk, smooth talk, guilt trip, bribe, manipulate, or otherwise get people to change. We try all of those. We try all of those with our kids too. Right? Yeah. No different than, the way we work with our clients. Sometimes we even plead, please. All right. So this is dedicated to all of us who try to help people change. What does it mean to help someone to change? What does it mean to help people change? Is all help helpful? Is all helpful? Okay, sometimes we say we're helping, but in reality, we are not helping the person. That's why there is such a term as enabling behavior. We are, our parents do that, right? Our parents. Okay, so we have siblings, right? Okay, and we have siblings who is not doing well, right? And keeps convincing your mom, if you just give me another chance, I will do this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right? And your mom, okay, so finally, continue to actually believe your brother, right? Because your mom says, one of these days he will realize, one of these days. It's been 5 years, mom, you know, uh, why you keep enabling my brother, okay? All family has, not all, but most families go through this, correct? Yeah, in one form or another. So, so that help that we say sometimes is helping is not helpful. Okay, so we've got to realize when the help is not working. Okay, and we should be willing to take a look at that and try another way of doing it. So why am I? Evidence-based practice. Everybody understand what it means to be evidence? What's an evidence-based practice? Anyone? Philip, what's evidence practice? Evidence-based.
Yes, Doc. It undergoes, Doc, a certain practice na proven na po talaga na effective. Desired outcome. Okay, Doc.
It's based on research. Okay? Not a simple like survey research, but really, a real research. Okay, a rigorous one. Not once, but have been replicated over and over and over. That's only when it becomes evidence-based. Okay, so we say a proven practice based on research. Okay, so that's what that means, evidence-based or research-based. That's what it is. Okay, so with MI, it's been studied repeatedly. Okay, so there are strong evidence that it is really effective. Next is effective across populations and cultures. Why? Because motivation is a universal phenomenon. I mean, we go through that every day. So regardless of race, culture. Okay, so MI, especially MI, is transcultural, right? It's transcultural, meaning across cultures. It is true. Okay, so uh, it has a universal application, in other words. Applicable to a wide range of professional disciplines. Like I told you, the two guys who developed the model are from two different disciplines. One medicine and another one is actually counseling. So you can use it in sales. Yeah. All right. If you walk into a car dealership, actually they have their own way of motivating you to buy the product. Yes. So all salesmen have developed a way of, motivating. Sometimes you wonder, why did I buy this thing? I don't really need it. So that means that actually the salesperson who sold you that was very effective in convincing you and motivating you to buy the product. Okay. So yeah, across disciplines. Effective in brief or longer encounters. Brief or longer encounters, right? So it could be a few sessions, right? Or it could be a series of sessions. The thing with this is once a person is motivated, you really don't have to do anything after that. Okay? So there is a point where you have to stop motivating the person. The person is already motivating. We'll talk about that when we discuss stages of change model. Okay? Because the two are actually very complementary. MI and the stages of change, right? You familiar with the stages of change by uh, Clemente, Nore, Prochaska, and Norris, right? Those three guys, right? So we'll talk about that as well. I added that a little bit. I'll touch on that. Okay. All right. Uh, so which part of in what stages of change we can use MI and at what point we don't have to use it anymore. Okay. So next is counselor myth of the unmotivated client. All right. So our clients come in, right? I would say 99% of them are not really motivated to change. Is that a, is that correct? About 99%. Very few come in here that say I'm ready. I'm ready. So many of them are not motivated. Okay, so the kind of clients that we have are not different from clients who are diabetic, hypertensive. Seriously. Okay, it's a different condition, but you will see the motivation, right? Us, our motivation to even cut down on sugar, right, fluctuates, and a lot of times we struggle in developing that and being consistent with with the diet, right? No different than our clients. They struggle with really making that commitment to change their behavior and stop using drugs. We should be able to relate to that. But come a point when actually we develop motivation. That's when your doctor says you have 1 month to live. Do it or die. Right? Okay. You don't want to get to that point, right? Okay. Same thing with the judge. When the judge says, listen, okay, if I get another negative report from the TRC, you're going to serve your sentence. You know what you're facing? You're facing 6 to 7 years in prison. Okay? In prison. Hopefully that would be enough for a client to really shape up. You'll be surprised.